हेलो एवरीवन, कैसे हो आप सब? आई होप यू ऑल आर डूइंग गुड। वेलकम यू ऑल टू द ऑनलाइन सेशन ऑफ गुरुकुल एकेडमी। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं आज की क्लास को। आज की क्लास में हम डिस्कस करेंगे सम इम्पॉर्टेंट एमसीक्यू रिलेटेड टू द टॉपिक ऑफ मॉसफेट, दैट इज मेटल ऑक्साइड सेमीकंडक्टर्स, फील्ड इफेक्ट ट्रांजिस्टर्स के ऊपर हम डिस्कस करेंगे कुछ एमसीक्यूज को। तो चलिए आज की क्लास को शुरू करते हैं। आज हमारे साल का 2024 का आखिरी दिन है, तो आई होप सो नए साल की शुरुआत आप कल से जो करेंगे बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से आप नए साल को शुरू करेंगे, अच्छी आदतों के साथ शुरू करेंगे, प्रेयर्स के साथ शुरू करेंगे, अच्छे काम करेंगे और नई नई अच्छी अच्छी रेजोल्यूशंस के साथ शुरू करेंगे आप कल आने वाले दिन को, ताकि आपका 2025 नया साल बहुत अच्छे से बीते। आपने उसमें मैनिफेस्ट करना है कि हम हमारा एग्ज़ाम जो है वो हर हाल में क्लियर करके ही रहेंगे और 2025 में हम हमारी जॉब को हर हालत में लेकर ही रहेंगे। तो चलिए उसी गुड विशेस, गुड वाइब्स एंड प्रेयर्स के साथ शुरू करते हैं हम आज की हमारी एमसीक्यू सीरीज़ को। सो सभी ने आई होप सो पिछला लेक्चर देख लिया होगा और चलिए जल्दी से सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए हमारे चैनल को एंड हिट द बेल आइकन एंड यू कैन परचेज द पेड कोर्सेज एंड कॉल अस इन द गिवन मोबाइल नंबर. Now let's begin with the first MCQ, that is enhancement mode is present in tunnel diode, pin diode, JFET or MOSFET. You all know that it is present in the MOSFET. What is MOSFET? It is metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. I hope you all know about this, that it is metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor. In MOSFET, this is also known as the field effect transistor. What is field effect transistor? It means these are the transistors which are voltage controlled and in which there is only the majority charge carriers contribute to the flow of current. Okay, now in MOSFET, if you don't know about the details of MOSFET, how what is the operation of the MOSFET, then you can watch the demo lecture number 15 on my YouTube series. आप मेरी प्लेलिस्ट को ओपन कर सकते हो, उसमें आप देख सकते हो मैंने इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स के सारे टॉपिक्स की बहुत ही थोरो वीडियोस डाली हुई हैं, जहां पर आप जाके विजिट कर सकते हो, उस प्लेलिस्ट को गो थ्रू कर सकते हो। उसमें मैंने पिछले लेक्चर में मॉसफेट आपके साथ डिस्कस किया था एक बहुत ही डिटेल मैनर में, तो आप वहां जाकर मॉसफेट को समझ सकते हो कि ये काम कैसे करता है। उसके बाद आपको आज के एमसीक्यूज बहुत ही ईजी लगेंगे। So now let's begin with the second one. What is the second one? The transconductance of N-channel MOSFET is given by. How does the transconductance of N-channel MOSFET is? What is the formula of the transconductance of the N-channel MOSFET? So, which option should be the correct one? Anybody out of you who know the answer? Yes. The transconductance of the N-channel MOSFET is given by mu n CUXW, that is mu n. Actually it is not P, it is mu n. It is mu n CUXW upon L into VDS. You all know that for a MOSFET in saturation, the current is given by W mu x COX upon 2L VGS minus VTH ka whole square. So that is the third one will be the correct one. Now let's move to the third MCQ. The ID minus VGS characteristic of a MOSFET in saturation is exponential, quadratic, logarithmic और hyperbolic. That is quadratic. You all know जो current होता है, current equation होती है MOSFET की, ठीक है, that is quadratic in nature. So आपको मैंने पिछली बार characteristics बनवाई थी MOSFET की, उसमें मैंने आपको बताया था कि किस तरह से आपका MOSFET का रीजन होता है. सो इट्स लाइक दिस. आपका जो ग्राफ आता है, यहाँ पर आपका ID करंट होता है, नीचे आपका VDS वोल्टेज रहता है. तो फर्स्ट देयर इज द ओमिक रीजन एंड देन देयर इज द सैचुरेशन रीजन. सो इट इज लाइक दिस. सो दिस वन इज द क्वाड्रेटिक इन नेचर. सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन विल बी क्वाड्रेटिक. So the correct option will be the quadratic one, because you know there are ohmic region and the saturation region. After the pinch of voltage, there is a saturation in the current, in the drain current in the MOSFET. If you don't know why this happens, you can go through the video of MOSFET. Okay, Now let's begin with the next MCQ. Which of the following is the fastest switching device? इनमें से कौन सा सबसे ज़्यादा fastest switching device होता है? JFET, BJT, MOSFET या Triode? JFET होते हैं Junction Field Effect Transistor whose functioning is similar to that of the MOSFET. BJT is bipolar junction transistor which are the current control devices. MOSFET is also a field effect transistor which are also the voltage control devices. So now they are asking about which is the fastest switching device. For this question, you know that the MOSFET has high input impedance as compared to the JFET. So here our correct option will be MOSFET, obviously, because it has the high input impedance as compared to the JFET. I hope everyone know the reason behind this. ओके मॉसफेट्स जो होते हैं उनकी हाई इनपुट इम्पिडेंस होती है, इनका लोएस्ट स्विचिंग ऑफ टाइम होता है और कितने ऑर्डर का होता है? नैनो सेकेंड्स का. दे हैव लोएस्ट स्विचिंग ऑफ टाइम. मॉसफेट्स हैव लोएस्ट स्विचिंग ऑफ टाइम. MOSFETs have lowest switching off time of the order of nanosecond. Of the order of nanosecond. Of the order of nanosecond, and that's why they have very high input impedance, and that's why they have the fast switching time. Clear? As compared to the other ones. Okay. In this there is a microsecond, in this there is a switching of time of microsecond, and in this there is much more time, that is in triode there is like it's on in micro. हाँ, इसमें भी लगभग माइक्रो सेकेंड्स का ही होता है. इसमें 1 माइक्रो सेकेंड्स का होता है, इसमें 5 माइक्रो सेकेंड्स का होता है. लेकिन मॉसफेट की जब हम बात करते हैं, इसका स्विचिंग टाइम दैट इज ओनली फ्यू नैनो सेकेंड, दैट इज 10⁻⁻⁹ सेकेंड. सो दैट्स व्हाई मॉसफेट्स आर यूज्ड एज द फास्ट स्विचिंग डिवाइस. Now let's see the fifth question. The power dissipation is negligibly small in. Yes, you all know that the power dissipation is negligibly small in MOSFET. Why does I am saying so? क्यों मैं ऐसा कह रही हूँ कि इसमें power dissipation सबसे कम होती है? Sorry, it's CMOS में होती है. Complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Sorry, it's not MOSFET. It is metal oxide semiconductor, but complementary one. So it is D option. It is metal oxide semiconductor, but it is not MOSFET. It is CMOS. What is the full form of CMOS? It is complementary. It is complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Complementary metal oxide semiconductor. They have the lowest power dissipation. They have the lowest power dissipation. Clear all of you? Complementary metal oxide semiconductor use the complementary and symmetrical pair of p-type and n-type MOSFETs. The two important characteristics of the COM, that is their noise immunity and their low power dissipation. What is the two important characteristic of CMOS? Complementary metal oxide semiconductor, that is they have very low power dissipation and they have very high noise immunity. It means there is very less noise in this. They have very high noise immunity. CMOS devices dissipate very less power. Okay. So only one MOSFET is switched on at a time, and thus there is no path for the voltage source to the ground, and that's why only current flows in MOSFET during the switching. So as compared to the N-channel MOSFET has the advantage of lower drain current, thereby causing the less power dissipation. So CMOS has the less power dissipation. Now let's move towards the sixth question. Which of the following statement is true for E-MOSFET? The E-MOSFET is capable of operating in the enhancement and the depletion mode. No. The E-MOSFET is capable of operating in the depletion mode. The E-MOSFET is capable of operating in only the enhancement mode. You very well know that the E-MOSFET is only capable of operating in the enhancement mode. That is, MOSFET is metal oxide silicon field effect transistor, is an electronic device used to switch on or amplify the voltage in circuit, and it has three terminals: source, drain and gate. It is a voltage control device And in D MOSFET, in depletion type MOSFET, one channel is inserted near the gate terminal during the manufacturing. I have told you the difference between the depletion type and the enhancement type in the previous video, in which I explained the MOSFET in a very detailed manner. I told you that in the depletion region, the channel is being provided near the gate terminal, but in the enhancement type, we have to create the channel, that is by applying the VGS voltage. And in E MOSFET, there is no inbuilt channel is present, and we apply the voltage at the gate terminals to create the channel, and that's why the type of MOSFET can only work in the enhancement mode, whereas D MOSFET can work in both modes, but E MOSFET can only work in the enhancement mode. The D MOSFET can work in both the depletion and the enhancement mode. Now let's move to the 7th question. The drain current versus the gate source voltage is given by this graph. If this is the ID and this one is the VGS, so the graph between the drain current and the gate source voltage is given like this. Identify the device. This is the device given to you, and you have to identify. Obviously this is a MOSFET. Okay, now you have to identify, is it a N channel or a P channel? Yes, can you please identify what type of MOSFET it is? You have to remember the symbols of all type of that. Yeah? Any one of you? Can you identify what type of MOSFET it is? The arrow is going to inwards, that's why. Let me explain you. You have to remember the symbols always. Like this, if the symbol is given like this is the gate terminal, and this one like this. Here is a drain, and like arrow is like this, and this is the source. Okay, so this is a P channel D MOSFET. This is the P channel D MOSFET. Okay, so I hope, if arrow is like this, then it would be N channel, and then it would be N channel. If the arrow is in the inwards direction, then it would be N channel. If the arrow is outward direction, then it would be P channel MOSFET. I hope everyone is now clear. Now let's move to the 9th question. Which of the type of the MOSFET is exclusively used in the MOS digital ICs? MOS digital ICs में कौन से सबसे ज़्यादा यूज़ की जाती है टाइप? Yes. Which is the MOSFET used exclusively in MOS digital ICs? That is enhancement MOSFET. That is enhancement MOSFET. You very well know that there are two categories of MOSFET. That one is the enhancement type and the depletion type. And what is the difference between these two types? In the enhancement type, you have to create the N channel by applying the VGS voltage. By applying the VGS voltage, you have to create the channel between these two, and like this you have to create the channel. But in the depletion type MOSFET, the channel is already inbuilt, but in the enhancement type, you have to build the channel by applying the VGS voltage. So in ICs, the most exclusively used enhancement MOSFETs is the correct answer. For an N channel in MOSFET, VTH is given as 5 volt. What is the condition to turn off the device? The threshold voltage is given as 5 volts, so VGS must be greater than 5 volt, because you know there is a particular threshold value above which only the channel can be created. You know, during the MOSFET, let me draw a MOSFET for you guys. Like this is the MOSFET, and here are two channels embedded. Now there is a VGS battery across which we have to apply the voltage, because we want to create a channel in between this so that the current can flow throughout. But since there is no inbuilt channel in the enhancement type MOSFET, so you have to apply some VGS voltage in order to create the channel. And that's why in order to create the channel, when we apply the VGS, there is some threshold value of VGS only above which the channel can be created. Below the VGS, the channel cannot get created. So you have to apply some VGS in order to create the channel. So that's why you have to apply the battery across the gate and the source terminal, and then you can apply the drain to source voltage by applying the voltage in such a way that drain should be at higher potential and the source should be at lower potential, and the current start flowing through the channel like this. But VGS should have the minimum threshold value or above it to create the channel. Only then the channel should be created. Now here there is given that VGS is 5 volt. So obviously our VGS should be greater than the 5 volt, because threshold value is the minimum value above which only the channel can be created. Now let's move to the 11th question. For an N-channel MOSFET, if the conduction parameter is 0.241, gate to source voltage is this one, and you have to find the current. आपको क्या find करना है? You need to find the current. So how can you find the current in this case? You have given an N-channel MOSFET. What is given? You have given the N-channel MOSFET. So how can you find? Anyone? Can you try out this question yourself, or should I do it for you? The current is given Now let's see how can we do this question. So you know that Kn is equal to 0.249 milliampere. Now VGS is given as 2 volt and VTN is given as 0.75 volt, and VDS is usually more than that of the VGS minus threshold voltage, and you know VDS should be greater than VGS minus VTH. It is VTH, okay, and the MOSFET is in the saturation region, so VDS, so ID would be equal to 0.249 to VTN minus, so that is equal to 0.249 VTN whole square, and that is equal to 0.249 into 0.75 whole square, and that would be equal to 0.14 milliampere. So ID will come out to be 0.14 milliampere. You can see the question again. For an N-channel MOSFET, if conduction parameter is given as 0.249, this is the conduction parameter given. Gate to source voltage VGS is given as 2 volt, and where VTN is 0.74. Now you very well know that always VDS is equal to or greater than VGS minus V threshold, and that's why it would be equal to 0. Now you need to find ID, and that would be equal to 0.249. and you need to find the current, so that will be 0.249 into 0.75 ka square, and that comes out to be 0.14 milliampere. Now let's move to the next question of today. The threshold voltage of an N-channel enhancement type is 0.5, and when the device is biased at the gate voltage, you have to find the pinch off voltage. Very easy question. You can easily find the pinch off voltage by using the formula that the pinch off voltage is equal to VGS minus VT. You should know that pinch off voltage is equal to VGS minus VT. That is equal to the pinch off voltage. You very well know that what is pinch off voltage. Whenever you have drawn the graph of ID and VDS, you very well know that first the current increases with the increase of VDS, but then there comes a point which is known as the VP, that is the pinch off voltage, and after which the current saturates. So this is known as the ohmic region, and this is known as the saturation region, and this voltage at which the current saturates is known as the pinch off voltage, and this is known as the pinch off voltage. and that is equal to VGS minus VT. So what is the value of VGS given? That is 3 volt, minus VT, that is 0.5 volt, and that comes out to be 2.5 volt. So the answer would be the correct one, second option, that is 2.5 volt. I hope it is clear to you. You have to remember that the pinch of voltage Vp is also equal to VGS minus VTH. This is the main thing that you need to remember in order to attempt this type of numerical. Now let's move to the 13th question. Which of the following is not a basic MOSFET device type? Enhancement P channel, depletion N channel, narrow P channel. This is not the type of the MOSFET, because you know enhancement and depletion are the two categories of MOSFET. MOSFET are of two categories, that is the depletion and enhancement. And further they have the two categories, that is the N channel and the P channel. And further enhancement also have N channel and P channel, but there is no category like narrow P channel, so this option will be the correct one. So thanks for watching. You can join our free WhatsApp group by sending your name, city and course on the given mobile number. If you want to purchase the paid course in which we will discuss the whole syllabus of the physics very thoroughly, then you can enroll for the paid courses as well. So thank you so much for joining the class. Tomorrow we will discuss some more MCQ. So I hope you will join the class regularly and practice more and more MCQ and will crack the exam this year. Thank you so much for joining the class.